Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your midweek update. This is part 2 to your December 27th weekly reading. If you haven't watched part 1, I will have that linked up down below, but make sure to watch part 1 of the reading. And Scorpio, we are just going to jump right in here and see what is going on for you. We're actually going to pull some anchor cards to kick the reading off here at the top of each row. And we are going to get some more details as to what is going on for you. You start off with this turkey spirit. It says, give with gratitude and grace. I love this card. Turkeys represent abundance and abundance coming in for you. Your outcome card for the weekly reading for December 27th was the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is like pre-Empress energy, and the turkey spirit reminds me of pre-Empress energy as well. And by the way, if you haven't watched part 1, these cards were already done in part 1, and this is a Celtic cross. Even though I've changed the layout of the Celtic cross, it is still the same thing. But again, I feel like there's a lot of abundance coming in for you here with this turkey spirit, so I definitely like to see that. With your Four of Swords here, you have the King of Cups. I like to see this. This was your current general energy with the Four Swords. And the King of Cups can represent you kind of entering the reading in a good place. You also have the King of Cups. You have the Queen of Cups right next door here. So if you're looking for love, I do feel like there could be love entering into your life here. It looks like a lot of cleaning is how it's popping into my head. If you want love, and if you've been literally doing cleaning, or maybe you've just been cleaning up your vibration, thinking more positively, any of those things, that would also make sense to me here, Scorpio. I think if you've been doing any of that, you could be attracting a lot of love into your life here. With the Ace of Wands in the Tower, you have the Eight of Pentacles here. This energy is making you want to get to work. The Ace of Wands and Tower kind of hit me as a bunch of false starts that you've been experiencing over maybe the past many years. And the Eight of Pentacles, I feel, is a card of mastery. He is working only on one thing on this card here, Scorpio. He's kind of learned how to master something, or he is trying to master a skill on the Ace of Pentacles. On the Eight of Pentacles. It's like you've experienced a bunch of these false starts, but in experiencing the false starts, you have also kind of like found your inner answers, or you have found out how to be successful is how I'm seeing this. So I really do like this energy for you, actually. I think this is a good thing. You're experiencing success because of the false starts that you have, maybe been through or gone through here with the Ace of Wands and the Tower. With the Three of Cups in the area of your thoughts, you have the Two of Pentacles. It's going to be super important for you to, have fun and to do things that bring joy into your life. Remember that the Sun card came up in the area of your future feelings. The Sun card is all about your inner child. It's about releasing your inner child, making sure you have fun, making sure you're enjoying yourself, making sure you're doing the things that you love to do. And I do feel that for you here. I feel that for a lot of you, you need to make sure that you're enjoying yourself, that you're doing the things that you love to do. And the Two of Pentacles is like work hard, play hard. So that's going to be very important for you. With the Three Cups, this could represent socializing as well, and it does seem to me like a lot of you are either socializing or looking to socialize in the near future more with more people. With that Magician card, remember, we were in the original reading, we were talking about how the Magician is like saying you have changed as a person. Sometimes when we change, it's like we level up the type of people that we allow into our lives, or the type of people that we allow into our lives changes in some way. And that is popping into my head for you here, Scorpio. There's some sort of change in the people that you allow into your life. Look at this right here. Like going to Two of Pentacles, Three of Cups, King of Swords, to the Magician. Remember, I was saying the King of Swords, he's like law and order. His word is law. And he's also very direct and straightforward. The Magician is like, I feel like this is saying that you're going to be very, very direct with the people and the types of people that you allow into your life, not just in love, but also in business and friendships, everything like that. You're looking for people who are more balanced in all areas of their life. I feel like you're seeing these connections as well. Like, for example, maybe you've been struggling in your relationships, but it's like maybe everybody in your life is struggling in their relationships. I feel like you're just inviting some more people who have successful relationships. It's like you realize that you are the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with, which a lot of successful people talk about this. But I feel like you're surrounding yourself with people who are successful in the things that they do. And this is going to be a good thing. And again, if you can't like physically spend time with people like that or find those people, then I would say YouTube, right? There are plenty of people on YouTube who are successful at pretty much everything. So surrounding yourself that way, reading books, educating yourself, there's like a million ways to do it here. So that's what I would do if I were you, Scorpio. In your middle row, you have this Purification card. We kind of see this with the Ouroboros here on the Magician. To me, these two cards, Purification and this Magician, are tied together. He's, again, snake eating its own tail. There is a kind of like a sense of purification in that transformation. It's like the snake is shedding its skin or it's eating its own tail, but it's kind of like a symbol of rebirth. So when we go through a rebirth, we experience purification. We get rid of things that no longer serve us. We do experience the shedding of the skin. It just popped into my head. I remember in your yearly reading, you had the death card. And I was talking about how it's almost like you're removing these bits and pieces of yourself, right? And you're kind of rebuilding, or you're in this rebuilding stage of your body. Maybe not literally, but figuratively. And if you're doing that, I feel like that is going to be good for you. With the Queen of Cups here, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles says, let go of the old way of life. Try to open up to new ways of doing things. Four of Pentacles can represent holding on too tightly to the past, or holding on too tightly to certain experiences that you've been experiencing. What I will say is this is coming up in the area of your foundation. Four of Pentacles is a foundational energy. Not really that bad. It can say maybe there's some new things you could try. Maybe it's kind of like saying you do need to reinvent the wheel a little bit, but actually not too bad. I think the thing, if I was being super, super picky about the Four of Pentacles, is his head and his heart are in alignment. You can see that the pentacle above his head and the one over his heart are perfectly on top of each other. And I always say my favorite person of all time, Greg Braden, says when your head and your heart become one, you can move mountains. So it's like when the two energies are in alignment, you can accomplish anything. And so I just say, as long as you're in alignment, as long as your foundation is in alignment, you're going to be very successful here, Scorpio. With the King of Swords, you have the Four of Wands here. The Four of Wands is about needing to set yourself free. So I do feel that a lot of you need to set yourself free with this Four of Wands energy. The Four of Wands is a card of freedom. And so I do feel like kind of like walking away from that King of Swords energy that we were talking about in the first reading, or the first part of the week. If you could set yourself free from that, then you're going to actually gain a lot of freedom. These people want you to celebrate with them. There are these people on the other side of the Four of Wands here, Scorpio, and they're kind of like saying, hey, like, come over here. They are celebrating because they've been married. So it is a card of marriage, but they've already been married on this card. So they're kind of like calling you over, asking you to experience a celebration. This reading is definitely asking you, this part of the reading is asking you to have more fun, for sure. Four of Wands, Sun, Two of Pentacles, like right off the bat. That to me says that there is more fun for you to be had in your life. King of Swords, Four of Wands, it's kind of that energy of like punishing yourself. I'll just tell you a story. Back in the day, I like lost a business, and I always tell a story. For like 2 or 3 years, I basically did nothing. I just sat around, and because I was like in like this weird depressive, state basically, because of what I thought was like the end of my life, this big failure, which was like, trust me, looking back, it was nothing. I was being a big baby, right? But it's like at the time, it really sucked, and I did nothing. It wasn't until I started doing things that were fun. It wasn't until I started spending time with friends. It wasn't until I started going for walks and getting back into nature and all that other stuff. It literally took me like 3 years to do this. It wasn't until then that my life changed. So, like I said, sometimes I think we can be a little bit too serious. We can be a little bit too much in a bad place. And we need to change that so that we can experience the freedom of the Four of Wands. With the Five of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups here. For some of you, I do feel this could be an offer of peace that's coming from a friend. So I do see that as like a friendship coming back from the past. It's popping into my head specifically as friendship. I don't think this is love coming in for you. This is a person that you were friends with for a very long period of time. So that's for some of you. It's like an offer of peace is how that's popping into my head. For others, I feel like there just is peace in general coming in for you this week. In your last row here, you have the Seeing Beyond card. Definitely a very intuitive reading. Queen of Cups, the King of Cups here. I would trust your intuition this week. You are seeing things that maybe you can create, or you're seeing something as a new beginning that you could be creating as well. With the Magician, you have the Three of Swords. So like I said, I'm not going to lie. It's like that magician transformation, whenever I get a message of transformation with the magician, to me, it is like a deep transformation. It can be a very difficult transformation as well. It can hurt, right? Because it's like, if you're changing, people in your life don't want you to change, that can be a little bit painful. But at the same time, the Three of Swords is about forgiveness. So sometimes we just have to forgive people for being who they are. And if we can let go, then we can take those swords out of our heart and it doesn't hurt any longer. For others, I just feel kind of like that separation energy. You are just like removing your energy from maybe people who are toxic or people who aren't right for you. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Sun. I would be protecting your own happiness if I were you here. He has this wall built up behind him, Scorpio. That wall is, you could look at this in two different ways. The wall could be a wall that has been built up that around your inner child, and you need to let your inner child out. You need to have more fun. You need to have more enjoyment. You need to look at the world like a child as well. Children aren't afraid to make mistakes. They're not afraid to ask questions. They're not afraid to just go for it, right? Children do crazy stuff. So this can say that. It can also say that you need to protect yourself from people who want to crush your inner child. It's like, we can have a dream. We can say, I'm going to go start this YouTube channel. And then your mom is going to be like, oh, how are you going to pay your bills, right? And it's like, well, what your mother doesn't understand is it's like more and more people are paying their bills with YouTube and other things as well, right? So it's like, mom doesn't know because she didn't grow up with YouTube. So that's just one example. And I'm not saying you have to cut your mom off, right? Seven of Wands is about setting healthy boundaries. Seven of Wands is like saying, hey, you don't even have to say anything with the Seven of Wands. You just prove it, is what I would say here. I mean, I think sometimes the best thing to do, I think we talked about this in the beginning of your reading, in the first part of the reading. It's like you're becoming a living example for other people, but you have to do it, right? And so it's like, by you proving it to your mom, you're like, boom, look, I'm successful now. So much for not being able to pay my bills. So it's like, there are going to be people who might not agree with the changes you're making or the things that you're doing, especially if this has happened, right? This right here is like multiple tower moments. So, sometimes if we've failed and failed and failed, it's like sometimes the people in our life might be like, hey, it's time for you to get a job. It's time for you to stop trying to live this crazy dream. I would argue that means it's time to double down. But I'm a crazy person. But again, I've done it. I've lived it. So I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because I want to encourage more people to live their dream. And, again, you are going to have people who say, you know what, maybe it's time for you to get a job. Maybe it's time for you to go do these other things. But it's like, maybe you know better, Scorpio, is what I would say to you. Here's your dream right here. This with the Sun, you have the Page of Cups. Number one, definitely, I feel, I wouldn't really call this a love reading. If you're looking for love, it's here. Probably another water sign. Could be any sign. I feel if there's someone coming in for you that makes you feel happy, that kind of shares similar beliefs to you, really good. It looks very pure to me, very pure intentions on this person, probably a water sign, and I feel like you could marry this person. It's probably someone who's going to be a little bit older than you with the King of Swords. Not always true. You could be the older person as well here, Scorpio, or it could just be a person who carries themselves in a very mature way. That's what would stand out to me here. Could be someone who works in the law of somewhat sort is what I'm getting here, but it could be anyone. But what I'd say here is definitely an admirer. I feel this is your dream. He is imagining that fish that is in that cup there, Scorpio. That fish doesn't exist. It is in his imagination. But it's something that he wants to create. He needs to grab onto that fish. He needs to make sure that the fish doesn't escape his grasp. And I feel that for you here. That's what this is talking about. You have that seeing beyond card. Again, I think the hardest part of life is seeing something that nobody else sees. And that's what's going on here. It's like you have a vision for your life that maybe other people don't understand, can't see, never have experienced. So they don't know where you're coming from. And I feel like you need to kind of like push yourself to accomplish something so that you can be the example, so that you can show other people what's possible. Pretty powerful stuff here, Scorpio. I have to say, I feel like there's a lot of happiness, a lot of good things coming in for you, especially having the Sun twice here. That is pretty good. So thank you for being here, Scorpio. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, definitely check out the first part of the reading. I have it linked up down below or somewhere up here as well. So thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.